We are live on Proline TV for another week of thoroughbred horse handicapping. That's right. And we will hopefully have the type of success we had again last week. And I think we've been saying that for quite a bit now, maybe all year. But that's why we have now a really great opportunity for you to check out our YouTube membership. There's always going to be a link in the description for that. Very, very inexpensive, just $2 a month if you only want to see 2 of our shows every 4 weeks, $4 a month if you want to see all 4 of our shows. And if you were with us last week, well, we would have paid for all of your shows for the entire year. So that's how quickly we can make sure we get the money back into your bank account for a very modest donation. And look at it that way as well. If you just have some sort of line you don't want to draw, but go draw over because of, you're spending money on Prime TV and HBO and all that stuff, and I'm sick and tired of spending money. Just look at it as, hey, you'd like to donate to the show, and this is a great way to donate to the show. You could donate $2, $4 a month, and by the way, what do you get out of it? You get all of our content for free. Jeff Hockman here joining us from playbooksports.com. There'll be a link in the description for that as well, so you can check out all of Jeff's packages over at playbooksports.com. And Jeff, how's it going? Another Churchill Downs race this week.
Yeah, good, Greg. Thanks for having me once again. I did not come through last week with McAfee. He ran a disappointing 3rd. However, John, he did it again. Another winning. I don't think he's had at least one winner in both of the weeks that you have been doing this video through a paywall. So you're definitely getting your money back. I had Camp Hale as well for my clients. I liked him across the board, and he came in first, paid really nice for place and show. So yeah, I'll try to bounce back here for everybody at Churchill. It's a big card. There's 6 stakes races. We're going to do the American Derby and hopefully find a winner for you. It's a very competitive race, Greg, and I handicapped the race with the mind that there's going to be some moisture in the turf track. There's a 60% chance of rain. So a couple of horses will benefit if the turf is good and not fast. And I'll let you know when I give out my selections.
Yeah, and again, it looks like the rain, and this is summertime, so it looks like the rain is going to be the variety of a potential thunderstorm. So you can look at it that way. Maybe that's a plus because sometimes you'll get them and sometimes you won't. So hopefully that'll be the case, but you never know. And I'm not going to preach anybody about, or I'm not going to try to preview the weather forecast around Kentucky anymore after the way the local Louisville weatherman screwed up the weather forecast for the Kentucky Derby that week. So we'll leave it to Mother Nature. But as you said, Jeff, that's why it's always good to have a backup plan just to let you guys know, just in case. Okay, so this was the poll that came out this past week. As you can see here, a little bit down on the votes, and that's probably because of the fact that we weren't able to get the 2 races in until really late this week. You can see this is last week's. We had 25 votes all going to the Ohio Derby. But anyway, this week with the 9 votes in, American Derby wins it out over Kelly's Landing. And again, all you, anybody that is a member on YouTube gets to be a part of the poll, and we'll have 2 to 3 races per week whenever Jeff is on. Those are the races that Jeff is basically saying, here, pick whichever one of these 2 or 3 races that you want me to handicap, and it's up to you. The only people who get an opportunity to do this with the memberships are the $4. Those are the exacta tiers. So keep that in mind. By the way, the $2 tiers who go every other, this is a week where they will be a part of the show this week. But again, they are not able to participate in the poll. So there you go. That is why the American Derby ends up as the race this week. Oh, I should probably pop this back on just quickly while we're here, just to remind everybody too, that what you can do, of course, is make sure that if you haven't already, that you can just join. Now, I don't have the join up here right now because I'm on a different channel. So I can just quickly, let me just do this quickly. See, I have to switch my account over here. And then voila, I am on Proline TV as just a regular Joe, a regular viewer. And there's the join button. All you gotta do is click the join button. And then there you have it. You can either do the win bet for $2 a month, the exacta box for $4 a month, and you see exactly what you get for each of them. You hit the join button, and that's it. And then you can just pay up, and you can cancel at any time. So anytime that you are unsatisfied after the month of viewing or 2 weeks of viewing, whatever it is, then you can just cancel, and that's it. It's a very modest donation. Okay, so
And
here we go.
I will say, Greg, that not only John is giving out winners, he's also giving out winning exactas. So
we had a superfecta.
Yeah, like, so you're getting really good value for $4 a month. So I would encourage everybody to sign up and get John's picks, because this man knows what he's doing. He's been around a very long time. He knows what to look for. He knows the speed patterns. When I agree with a pick that John has, I double up, like last week with Cam Hale. So that's one of the systems that I use with John. I respect him that much.
All right, so we've got a race here called the American Derby. It's 1 1/16 miles. It's a turf race. Should go off about 6:30 on Saturday. It's the last race of the card. It's actually after the biggest race, I believe. That's race 11. That's the Grade 1 Stephen Foster. So this one, you have the morning line favorite is the 5-2 shot Tiztastic, followed by the 3-1 shot Reagan's Wit, which is the 1. The interesting thing about Tiztastic is this is, of course, a horse that was in the Kentucky Derby after winning the Louisiana Derby. Keeping in mind, this horse has only been on turf. It's a turf race, as I mentioned, twice, winning both races last year at Kentucky Downs. So who do you like here, Jeff, and why?
So, Greg, when I first handicapped this race, I liked the 1, Reagan's Wit, quite a bit. 3-1, second choice. Sherry DeVoe, she does an excellent job as a trainer. She's fantastic. Jose Ortiz is aboard. He was victorious in the James Murphy Stakes, a listed event at Pimlico back on May 17th. He's a chestnut son of Authentic. He's bred really well. Now, he finished second by a neck to the classy Zulu Kingdom in the Columbia Stakes on March 8th. So based on that past performance, he's going to get bet down, I think. He's also paired up similar speed figures, 94 and 95 in his last 2 races, respectfully. So he's definitely eligible for a forward move. What I don't like is if the turf comes up soft. There's some anomalies in his pedigree that suggest he doesn't really like a softer turf course. So I'm going to use him underneath, but he's not my key. So I went with Tiztastic, the favorite. I don't like taking favorites, but if I think he's going to win, I'm going to do it. And at 5-2, it's a pretty lukewarm favorite. And the interesting thing about Tiztastic is, Greg, he has never been the post-time favorite in 9 previous starts. People don't like to bet this horse. I don't know why. 2 for 2 on the turf, which he's never lost. The Connections tried the dirt, and he's had success, which makes this horse very intriguing. Anytime you have a horse that can win on the dirt, on the turf, at different distances, he's one to be taken very seriously. You get Osmussen, fantastic trainer, of course. Joel Rosario knows what he's doing. Obviously, he was disappointing in the Kentucky Derby. He had inside travel issues, 16.5 lengths behind Sovereignty. You can draw a line through that race. He has a strong performance history, like I said, in 8.5 furlong races. His pedigree, he's by Tiz the Law. And if you remember, Greg, Tiz the Law was fantastic on soft turf courses. So I like Tiztastic to win in place in the American Derby, especially if you see the turf listed as good. I also like Reagan's Wit underneath. So I like the 3 Tiztastic to win over the 1 Reagan's Wit, over the 8.
Well, you better wager a lot of money on this one.
Over the 8, Freedom's Not Free. And then the 9, the long shot.
Giocoso.
Giocoso.
All right, we got a long shot in there.
We got
Let's
to
hope the
have a
9
long
hits the
shot in
board.
there. Got a potential to pay out quite a bit. But I do think Tis Tactic is going to be no worse than second. He has the best turf pedigree in the field. Doesn't mean he's going to win. And I think the main thing is that he's not going to be the favorite. I think his odds are going to drift up. And I think Regenswitz's odds are going to drift down, just based on him finishing second to Zulu Kingdom, who is one of the classier turf horses in the country right now.
Yeah, this is a race myself that, just from my perspective, which is the weaker perspective, that I am going to try and beat the favorites because of the fact that Tistastic hasn't been on turf for so long. And the fact, by the way, that Kentucky Derby, like you said, another reason to draw a line through it is because he was expected to bounce anyway. So he had a 3-point new top just before that in the Louisiana Derby win, and it was on slop. So you're exactly right. That's a race you just forget about. And I like Tistastic as well, but I like Freedom's Not Free better, the 8, because I like his consistency. I like the fact that since he's been on turf, he's done nothing wrong regarding his numbers. So he's been very consistent. He's got a couple of wins coming in. I get a little bit better odds than Tistastic, but you like the 8 as well. And a couple of long shots I like. I like the 7 and the 10. The 7 has really done nothing wrong over his short career. He keeps getting better and better, so I like that. Plus, you're getting 12-1. Of course, that's nice. And then the 10 is another one that is doing the same thing, not doing anything wrong. Just keeps getting better, a little bit slower than the where's my numbers? Than the 7, but still getting better and better over his career, and you're getting a good number. So a couple of good long shots. You like the 9. I like the 7 and 10 as long shots. But the 8, the 3, the 1, those are obviously the horses to beat. And we'll find out whether or not the weather's going to come into play. Now, it is on turf, so it's going to be a lot different when it rains. So how do you handle that yourself? Because obviously, if it rains too much, they're coming off the turf. So is that basically how it is, Jeff, that it's either one or the other? Either it's a little moisture and you deal with it, or it's too much moisture and you're off the track?
Well, you can look in a horse's past lineage and see how their offspring have done on certain types of turf: good, wet, fast, firm. So that's what I like to do. The thing about
on the turf. So
yeah.
how many different are there on turf?
Firm,
okay,
good, yielding, and I believe there's a wet yielding as well.
Okay,
that's a good.
And where do you get that information?
That's a good question for John.
Okay,
I have a link. I could send it to you, and if you want to put it in the description, but
sure,
below,
that's a good
really
question
helps.
for John, like you said.
Yeah,
it's
really
a good one.
So the thing about Freedom's Not Free, while I'm using the horse underneath, I am a little concerned that he's a California horse. All of his wins have been in California. He makes his first start outside of California in this race, but he does have ability. Mark Glatt is one of the best trainers out here in California, and Antonio Fresu is a rising star as a jockey. It's just unknown how he's going to handle the Churchill Downs turf surface. He likes the Santa Anita turf surface and the Del Mar turf surface.
Sure, you're right. Yeah.
And he is expected to be on the lead. He is the fastest horse out of the gate. He will be in the lead at first and second call. It's just a matter of can he hold his speed throughout the race. And I don't know. On a softer turf, I'm not sure.
Okay. All right. So there you go. It's the American Derby. That is the last race on the card on Saturday at Churchill Downs. It should start about 6:30, right around there on Saturday. And that's going to conclude it for Jeff. Of course, I'm going to wrap up the show. I got a few more other things that I want to convey to the viewers. But Jeff, appreciate your time as always. And again, as I mentioned, link in the description, playbooksports.com. That's where you have your packages. A lot of baseball going on right now, but we're only a couple months away from the season really picking up once again, starting with, of course, the NFL and college football.
Thanks, Greg. Good luck, everybody. Let's hope we get a winner with Tiztastic. And I'll talk to you guys and girls next week. Stay safe and be well.
Sounds good, Jeff. Take care.
Take care, Greg.
All right, that is Jeff Hockman. By the way, Mr. Guitar, I think we had this discussion already. Not sure if you've been getting my replies, but the thing is, I've mentioned this before regarding, well, again, I don't know whether it's iPhones, iPads, whatever the case may be, but all you have to do, and I actually put a link in the comment section of this problem that some people have when they're not using a desktop, and that is the situation with there's not a join button, and there's something to do with the coding with the phones and the iPads that sometimes it doesn't match up, and it's totally screwed up with what one site offers you on PC and what you get on a phone or an iPad. Something I can do about that, which is why I sent the link in the description right there, and I try to do that as often as possible. That's just, you got to just look that up, and at that point, you got to do the research yourself and find out whether or not your iPad or your iPhone is just not synced up the way you need it to be, so you can have the same sort of settings that you get on your PC. So really, there's nothing you can do there, nothing I can do about it. So you know, all I could say is call your phone provider, because I know whenever I have a problem with my phone provider, I get them in like 2 seconds. So if you have a really good phone provider, it should take you no time at all to get right through to them. By the way, there's an electric storm going on right now. So if I get taken out here by a really 2-second glitch where the lights come in and out, you know, that whole deal, I'll be off the screen for about 10 minutes. So if you see me like gone or frozen, then that basically means the show's over. Okay, so anyway, that's the best advice I can have is call your phone provider and tell them exactly what the problem is, because I very doubt sincerely that they haven't heard this before. So you call them up, you tell them that for some reason you are not getting the same settings you get on a PC. You're trying to join a membership on YouTube and the join button is not there on my iPhone. Can you tell me how I can solve this problem? And they should be able to help you out. So I think that is the only way that the best advice basically that I can give you for that. Okay, so as Jeff was talking about with the race last week, I'm going to go ahead and give you, all of our free members, what we talked about last week. This was when I posed the question to John regarding the race last week. This was the race number 10 at Churchill. That's what we did last week. We did race number 10. This was not a big graded stakes race. It wasn't even I don't even think it was a stakes race. And this was just a 6.5 furlong race at Churchill Downs. And so here, actually, I have to make sure before I do that. I got to make sure that the volume is in. Okay, now it is. Okay, so here we go. So what about, because we're in potential bounce territory, but what do you think about Camp Hale at 7-2?
He's actually my top selection because I'm reading it as 13 as a 2-year-old. Then he came out as a 3-year-old. So one race, it was a ship to Gulfstream. You could excuse it, but he really has never done anything wrong.
No.
I'm reading it 13, 12, 9. He's got time between races. He's drawn outside, and he's 1 for 2 with a second at Churchill, so he likes the track. You know, he's my top selection. It's not like I love the horse, but I just think he's the right horse to bet here because I think they're going to overbet Invictus, and I think that this horse may slip through the cracks and be a little longer than the 7-2.
And that's why I went with the 12-1 shot because, yeah, this is, the favorites are a little vulnerable.
8 Invictus, 11.
And John is going to go with the 11 as his top pick, Camp Hale. What else are you doing, John?
I'm using the 2 Amor Patre underneath, the 4 Faust, and the 8 Invictus. 11 with 2, 4, 8. And again, anyone that wants to throw in your 5, he makes a lot of.
Okay, so the only thing that we got screwed up with financially was, and maybe there were too many people that was sniffing what John was getting. and that was the winning horse that actually got bet up. So I think he went off a little around 2-to-1-ish around there. So the pay wasn't as good as we would have liked, but hey, nobody's going to complain about making money and winning bets. That's for sure. So John actually had the superfecta, $87 superfecta, 11, 2, 4, 8 with the 11 on top. So you got all of that winner, exacta, trifecta, superfecta. You throw it in there. It was a 7-2 morning line shot that John gave you last week. And we just keep giving you winners here like we did when we were doing it for free all the time. So if you would like to join us, don't forget, take a look at the video page right here, right now. As you're watching it, you see the little join button. Go ahead and click that. I just showed you how to do it. It's real easy. If you have any questions, comments, anything like that, please let us know. The show is going to be coming up at 7 o'clock Eastern every Thursday. John and I will be handicapping 2 races from Churchill Downs this week. We'll be doing races 11 and 10. 10 and 11 at Churchill Downs. So those are our races. The Wise Dan, I believe, is a grade 2. The Stephen Foster is a grade 1. There's some really, really top horses that are in these races. The Stephen Foster is loaded with big-time horses. So it's going to be a big race. It's going to go off on Saturday night. And if you want to know what we think about it, check out our membership. And hopefully we'll see you there. Otherwise, we'll see you here again next week for another Thursday night preview. Hopefully, Jeff Hockman will be with me once again. And we appreciate your time as always. Don't forget, of course, to, hey, if you're just here for free and you enjoy these reports and you're good with that, then please subscribe, like, and share, all that kind of stuff. That helps us out. And that's also another great way to support the channel. We'll see you guys again next week. Appreciate it.